EA Sports.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and in this one I just wanted to talk about my top 5 for MUT heroes, give you something to think about when you're selecting your free card. I'm also going to pull one of the 90 to 91s out of the training store, and at the very end we'll talk about a couple of the budget beasts that I thought were pretty good in this promotion. Starting off at number 5, I chose DeForest Buckner, one being his size. He's 6'7", 300 pounds, which is good for the physics in the game, and being that it's a run meta, he's going to be a good addition to the team. He's got good pursuit, tackling, average block shed, but he's got really good hit power, really good traits, and fantastic finesse move. And this is just the beginning for this card. He's going to be getting a power up very soon, and when he does, you can get his hit power over 90. Once it hits that naturally, he'll be able to get Enforcer if you want that. Not only that, but he's a 49er, and their theme team is really good every year, so if you add him to that, that'll be fantastic. If not, he's going to play great for you either way. Next up on my list, I have David Castro at number 4, and a lot of people don't like offensive linemen on these lists, but I chose him for a reason. He's a really good offensive lineman, maybe one of the best in the game, and he's also really affordable. Not only that, but if you power him up, he's going to have pretty much 90 everywhere, and he's going to play really well. He's got over 300 pounds, which is good for the physics in the game, especially with this being a run meta. But if you decide you don't want his full card, you can go ahead and power him up. It's not too expensive, especially even if you use a power-up pass. But once you hit that 89 where his power-up limit stops before this card, he's pretty much going to be on par with the legend Larry Allen. Whatever you choose, if you go his full card or just his 89, either way he's going to be a really good addition to your team, and I think it's one of the best cards that was added to the promo. At number 3, I chose Jalen Ramsey. This card really speaks for itself. He's hit 90 man and 90 zone, and I believe 90 press if you put him in the power-up. So he's going to be really solid and an all-around defensive back. But the reason I did not select him higher, and a lot of people could argue he's the best card, is just the way the game plays right now. A lot of players are mainly running and not passing too often, and when they do, they're trying to do beaters and things like that. Coverage can be inconsistent at times, especially if you don't have a superstar ability on your cornerback. So I would say he is a number 3 for me. He might go up higher if the meta changes. At number 2 for me, I have Jamal Adams, and this guy can pretty much do it all. He's a very versatile player, and that's why I have him high on the list. I'm considering picking him, and I think you should too. He's over 6 foot tall, good weight. He's also got good man coverage, good zone, pretty decent speed at 88. He's got very high hit power. He can get Enforcer, really good pursuit. He also has really good traits and high motor, big hitter, and strips ball. If you're thinking, I already have Tillman, I don't need this guy, you can just sub Tillman in at free safety, especially since he's smaller, and then you can have Jamal Adams at strong safety. You can also sub him in at linebacker in a lot of formations, which is what I will be doing, but this is one of the best players in the promotion, I think. And for me, the number 1 MUT hero, I've given it to Saquon Barkley. This is a very run meta, and even if it wasn't a run meta, he has good catching, and he also has good abilities in open field. He's got really, really high break tackling, and he does get a lot of good animations with fighting out of tackles. And if you get this card to 90 speed, 94 break tackle, he's going to have really good abilities as well. He's a really solid all-around elusive back in a run meta, so what's not to like here? Alright guys, so I've given you my opinion on the top 5 MUT cards added with this promotion. So I'm going to go ahead and use some training to pull one of these. Go ahead and like the video if you like this kind of thing. I do all of these things on my channel. And I'm going to go ahead and get myself Chris Harris Jr., one of the best cards and one of the most expensive cards out right now. He has amazing man coverage, a really good theme team he belongs to as well, and he's going to play pretty solid. I think I'm going to keep this card. What do you guys think? Should I keep it, sell it? He also has really good block shed, amazing block shed. I think he can hit 70 once he's powered up. This guy probably would have been in my top 5 if he had better zone coverage, but I think Ramsey is the better all-around player. Now moving on to the budget beasts. I have one for the low overall for offense and defense, and then a couple of the higher overalls. But with the defense, I've chosen Montez Sweat. He's a really good card, 86 speed, 6'6 height. He's pretty even in everything else around the 70s. He has pretty low catching, but I think this is a very versatile card, especially if you're a budget team. You can use him as a spy, especially versus Vic or Lamar Jackson, or you can use him as a user in the middle of the field, whatever you want. I think he's a great card. And the next card for the low overalls for offense, I've got Curtis Samuel, just for the fact that he's fast, and he has average catching stats and pretty average route running as well. He's kind of relative to the Cooks before he got an upgrade. So he's a pretty solid card. He is a budget card, though. He's not going to be catching passes and holding on to the ball after he gets hit. But he's going to be a pretty good addition if you don't have that many great players on your team. If you put him in the slot or maybe just use him as a sub, he'll be okay. Moving on to the higher overalls, I think Derek Wolfe is a pretty good card for what he cost, especially if you put him at defensive tackle. You can put him as your backup left end and then also insert him as your starting or backup defensive tackle, or you could just sub him in when you get into the game. But he's got really good run-stopping stats, and I've actually personally used him, and I think he does pretty well. So if you don't have a really good option for defensive tackle, or maybe you just want him for the end spot, then I think he's a pretty good choice. And this next card I think is probably the best budget card released in this whole promotion. It is Shakeel Griffin. Forgive me if I said his name wrong, but he's got 90 speed, 6 foot tall, and he's got 80 zone, which is perfectly fine for the way zones play right now. I think it's acceptable. He also has pretty decent run-stopping stats for a cornerback, so I think he's the best option. If you're a budget team, you should probably pick this card up. And if you do, come back and let me know how he plays. I might just pick him up and add him as a backup corner on my team. But if he plays as well as I think he will, he'll be a good addition to your team. The next budget card I believe you should have on your team is Villanueva. If you insert him into his power-up, he's going to have 80 run block. His run block finesse doesn't matter. Only the run block matters, and then the impact block and the lead block. But his awareness is very solid too, so if you need a left tackle, this card is pretty decent. And since we're on the subject of budget linemen, I think this card is probably the best one. He's got really good stats for this meta, really good awareness and strength, and he also has amazing speed at 71. He also has really good lead block and impact block, so if you like to run a lot of plays where your guard is pulling, he's going to play great for you. I wish we could sub cards in wherever we wanted, because this guy would be an amazing fullback. Whenever they come out with new power-ups, he might get one, and that would make him even better. And I could see him getting one of the better cards in Madden 20 for run blocking at the right guard position at any point later in the game. Back to the cards people care about, we've got a wide receiver in Valdez Scantling of the Packers. He's got 90 speed, 85 spec catch, and he has 80 deep route running, which isn't amazing, but it will get you that first tier of route running, so he won't be that bad. He won't run routes as bad as gold cards and other elite cards, but he's also got really, really good carrying, so he's not going to fumble too much. He can hold on to the ball a little bit. He's not going to juke anybody out their shoes or anything like that, but for his price, I'd say he's a pretty solid option for a budget team. And my next and final option for budget teams is going to be John Brown. He's pretty relative to the Valdez Scantling card. That's why I wasn't going to add him at first. He is a little bit of a different option. He's just a little bit less physical and more on the route running side than Valdez. But the main reason why I decided to add this card is because he's a really good special teams option. If you don't have anybody amazing to return punts or kicks, he can do that for you. He's got good carrying, and he also has a really good juke move. I think John Brown is a pretty good budget card, and if you need a special teams guy, consider picking this guy up. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to give you my opinion on the new cards added to the game, my top 5, and also my favorite budget cards for the guys not spending a lot of coins right now. So if you agree with my top 5, let me know. If you think any cards should have been added or taken off that list, then let me know in the comment section below. All that being said, let me know who you guys are picking for your free MUT hero. Thank you guys for watching. Come back for more Madden content, and I will see you guys in my next video.